Hello and welcome to another Project Life Process video. Today I'm going to be scrapbooking another half page in my Project Life album. I'm coming to the end of volume 1 for 2022. So today I'm going to be documenting week 25, excluding my daughter's graduation, which I already did in the full page spread that came right before this one. So this one was originally going to be on a little insert between the full spread of my daughter's graduation, but I liked how that spread looked so much that I didn't want to break it up by adding an insert that talked about the non-graduation things in the week. So I decided to just keep this page a little bit shorter and have it be on a half page spread here, and then I'll put week 26 right beside it. That'll bring me to the end of the page, and then I'll have the back side of that. Sorry, that will bring me to the end of the album. And then I will have a back side to that one, which will include my Canada Day spread. So I have 3 half spreads left in this album, basically. I've got a few pieces of ephemera there, and I'm also using a new Project Life template. It's still the same Becky Higgins Design A. I just am using it on a white piece of cardstock instead of the brown cardstock or the craft colored cardstock that I had before. I had some ephemera here, and one of them is from a while ago. This is the receipt for my daughter's prom dress. So I wanted to make sure I got this in my Project Life. So there's no place to put it anymore, but what I'm doing is I'm just using a little piece of washi tape to use as a little handle, and then I'm going to stamp open this, or open here, pull here, it says, sorry, and that's using a Lawn Fawn push-pull stamp set. And I just used a piece of washi tape from my stash, and I'm just going to slip that in between the cards in that pocket, and that way I can pull that out and remember how much her dress cost and the store that we got it from. So back onto this week's spread. I have the paper person kit for the month of June. It got lost on the way here. It kind of stopped for a long time and seemed to have gone missing, and then the tracking picked up again and it arrived on Friday. So I'm really pleased to have these supplies to work with while it's still June. I still have these last 3 half pages to do with this. And what I do with these 6x8 pages that come in that kit is I just cut them down to 4x6 because I don't use a 6x8. So this is a lot better for me, and I really adore that heart pattern. So I've decided to use that for my week title page, or my title card, I guess. I'm just having a look through any other cards that I might want to use in this spread or this half spread for this week. And I'm really focusing on using up this paper person kit. A lot of them are movie specific because that's the theme of this kit. So I'm going to, I really like how that says June, and this is my last opportunity to use that this month or this year. So I'm going to put that there and just put the photo to cover the month, like, the calendar month. And now what I'm doing here is I'm actually putting away a good part of this kit. I'm just going to put it right here. This is where I keep my themed Project Life kits. Most of these are Allie Edwards Stories by the Month kits, but there are a few of the themed Kelly Perky or paper person kits in there as well. Like I have the birthday kit and the bad day kit and a few other things in there. I just went over to my cupboards to grab a little snack size Ziploc bag from the dollar store. That's what I use to keep those kits together. And so then I just packed that away to get it out of my way. While I had that stash out, I grabbed the bad day kit from Paper Person because I knew that there were some stamps there that I could use. We had both an injury and a surgery to document in this spread, so I thought that there would be a couple of different opportunities to use some of the products from an older Paper Person kit. I think this might be the May kit. It has all kinds of die cuts that focus on bad news or everyday kinds of experiences, like more of the negative, as well as some flair badges. And then some of these cards, some of the cards are pretty neutral, but some of them are focused on hard day or bad day, negative stories. Oh, it was the April kit, I can see there. I thought I would use those where I don't always have an opportunity to use them, so I like to just take advantage of it whenever I can think to use those kinds of products. And now I'm just going through the 4x6 cards that come from that kit and any other kits that I have on hand. I'm working with the Paper Person kit for June, as I mentioned, as well as some Ellie Studio cards from June and May, and the Allie Edwards kit from June, and the Studio Calico kit from June. So I've got a lot of different kits there. As you can see, there's a lot of supplies. I just keep them in that washi tape holder from Michaels. I really love using that for non-washi tape. I don't actually like using it for washi tape, but I've used it over the years for many different things. So here's that Ellie Studio June kit. I'm just familiarizing myself with it so that I can get a sense of whether I want to use any of these cards in this spread, but I don't think so. So I'm going to start here with the title card. As you can see, I have a plan. I don't usually have a plan, but it's more of a plan for how I'm going to document these last couple of weeks where I feel like I'm closing in on the end of volume 1. I just want to make sure that I plan it so that I'm ending without half of a page being blank at the end. So these are some of the goodies that came in the Paper Person kit for the month of June. And now I'm just going to grab my stamp set. These are my time and date stamp sets. And I knew that I had something that said week. These two both have the word week, but they are too tiny. And then here's the stamp set that I was looking for. This one is called Mini Days of the Week stamp by Ellie's Studio, and I really like how it says week number, or week no, it actually says. And I'm going to find this very handy now that I am doing week title cards in my project life. So I definitely want to put the numbers on thickers, like I want to stamp out week number and then use thickers for the actual numbers for the number 25. And I found this thicker set. It's called Charm by Thickers, and they're foam letter stickers, and they're black and they're cursive, and I love them. They're probably from the Lucky Charm collection from Dear Lizzie way back in the day. I'm just going to use my Stampin' Up chamois here to clean off my stamp. And I stamped week number, and I'm going to put the number on here, and I'm putting it all on this really beautiful blue tag from the Paper Person kit. I really love these tags. They are the kind that are a little bit shiny and smooth, and they have the reinforcers that match and coordinate with the color of the tag itself. These are my very favorite kind of tags of all. So I'm really, really pleased that that kit came with several of them in lots of different sizes and colors. So they're fun to play with and mix and match. I like how the 5 kind of curves up there. So I wanted to play with that. So I moved it over a little bit so that it could almost kind of go up after the dot in week number. And I was looking for some type of ribbon that I could put in the tag. I do like to put ribbons or threads or strings on my tags, and I decided to go with this. It looks like a seam binding. It's like a loosely woven cotton ribbon from Close to My Heart. And so I'm just going to glue that, and I'm gluing it so that it interrupts the heart pattern as opposed to leaving the hearts intact. I like how that looks. It just gives it a little bit more interest. Of course, it's very difficult to roller date stamp your date when you have puffy letter stickers that are made out of foam on your page, but I managed to get the dates on there. It's pretty messy, but that's okay. I like that messy look anyhow. So I'm just going to stick those thickers back in their packaging, which is my own clear bags that I repackage all of my thickers into. Then I have this card. It says 5 things from this week. And here I'm just going to put in point form the 5 things that I'm documenting. It says Sophie graduated from grade 9, and then I just put in brackets FBJH for the name of her school. Liv got her wisdom teeth removed. Scott took a tumble. I hit 100 patrons. Big goal achieved. Decided to revamp my blog. And it's looking a little plain, so I'm going to take a highlighter that picks up on one of the colors, the light blue from the heart pattern paper, and that adds a little something. And then I'm also going to cover over those bullet points with different colored stars from the Kelly Perky little goodie bag that came in the June kit. Oh, I like how those look. It just adds a little bit of interest. They're not all exactly the same either, so I like the variety that adds. Quite a bit of interest to that card. So now I'm going to do a little flippity flap here. And under Cheer Up, what I decided to do was just put the things that helped Liv feel better. So at the top of the list is Percocet. Then we have ibuprofen, ice, soup, Jello, taking it easy, YouTube, and visits from Noah. Then I'm going to grab my roller date stamp and just add the date of her surgery, which was June 24th, 2022. And that will be the part of that card that goes into the regular pocket in the page protector. And then I have this one that says Tough Stuff. And then it also says This Too Shall Pass. And I have this UGG label from the Bad Day kit from Paper Person. That's that April kit that I pulled out. And I also have this stamp that says Bad Day. It's also from that same kit. I really like that kit. It's nice to have some not so always positive sentiments so that you can capture all of your life. And I'm just using my Misty tool, which is my stamp positioner there. And I'm going to stamp it twice just to get a nice crisp and dark image that says Bad Day on there, on the comforter on the photo right next to the flippity flap. And I really like how that looks, but I'm going to punch it up even a little bit more. It just looks like I want to do something with it. I want to color in the word Bad Day, but I wanted it to still be see-through. So I didn't want to use paint pens or anything. So I grabbed my Zig Real Brush Clean Tip. Oh boy, I always forget the name of that. Anyhow, it's light blue, and I will show them in a second, and then I'll get the name right. I always bungle the name for that one. I'm just going to very carefully color in and look at what that does. Oh, wow. I just love how that looks. So I'm just taking my time, and because these are watercolor pens, they're not opaque at all, and they're just sitting on top of this photo paper. So they're not absorbing the way they would on paper, but they're just sitting on top, and they do dry. So there you go. It's the Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. I got it that time. I just need to be able to read it to remember the name of those. And I used the color called light blue. I think I have all of those. I think I have the complete collection. So then I'm just using the back side of that card that says Tough Stuff, This Too Shall Pass. The back side of it has journaling lines already built in, so there's no point in using another card here because I just want to write down a few of my thoughts about her surgery. So I like how that says UGG, and I like how the UGG is in the same blue that's the Bad Day is colored in on the photo right next to it. It makes it almost like a dichromatic. So we've got that dark green and then a light blue as the two main colors on this. My journaling here says, Liv was originally scheduled to get her wisdom teeth removed in late August, which she felt was too close to school. Scott got it moved to June 24th, which was perfect. She was in a lot of pain for several days, but she got through it and is starting to feel better. And is starting to feel better ended up going on the UGG card. And I'll just use my Zig tape runner there to put that label on the bottom of the journaling card. And then I'm going to grab this is by Simple Stories from Snap. and they are called photo flips. I call them flippity flaps, but they're photo flips. Now, I was about to scrapbook this photo of the deer in my yard, and I thought, wait a minute, am I having a deja vu? Or did I already scrap this? And I did already scrap this. So here's a spot for me to put Liv's parking pass. At first, I was going to leave it on the paper. It's like I thought it was a sticker. It's actually not, but I thought I'd just leave it on the sticker. And then I thought, no, let's put it on some type of a card. I'm going to take entirely too much time to pick a card. I thought I'd put it on a green card, and then I thought I'd put it on that watercolor green card, and that's the one I'm actually going to go with. But I searched a whole bunch of cards. I'm not sure why I was spending so much time deciding on this. But it looks okay green on green. I guess I was looking for a coordinating color, but it looks okay green on green. Look at the amount of time I spent looking for another card, and I ended up going with that watercolored card that's just to the right of it right now. Now, this is when I realized it's actually not a sticker. It's one of those window clings because it's supposed to go on your windshield. And so I just used some adhesive to stick it down to that watercolor card. And now I am moving on to this card that's going to be about my Patreon page. And I knew that somewhere in there were these 2 striped cards and that they had this similar color scheme. And so I went looking for them because I thought I'd want to add some color to this. It's a bit of a boring photo. It's just kind of like a screenshot. But it does have that band of blue color, so I thought it would look good with a rainbow card. I'm just going to mat it here in a very tiny amount of black, just to give it a little bit of presence on the card. I like how that looks. And a little bit too much of that was hanging off the end, so I just used my trimmer there to get rid of the edge. And now I want to spell out 100 and yay. I'm going to hang on to that other rainbow card, and it's going to go on to week 26, which will be the facing page to this. I just haven't scrapbooked that week yet. So I'll just hang on to that card so that I have some of the rainbow over here, and I'll also have some of the rainbow over there. So remember those charmed letters that I had already taken out for the numbers 25? Well, I'm going to grab 100 and an exclamation point, and then I'm also going to spell out yay, because this was a pretty big accomplishment. So I thought about putting them like this, and then I thought really I like them better vertically like this. So I'm going to put them out like this. I'm going to start with yay, and then I'm going to show you a tip for how to use these cursive letters. So I'm going to zoom in so that you can see. So I have them layered so that they're overlapping, and then I just take my scissors, and it's really easy to see where you need to cut it if it's already overlapping. Then you just pull it up and pull off that little extra bit. I didn't quite cut it enough there, but there we go. And then you can line them up so that it looks like one continuous cursive word. I just had to raise that Y because it was too low. Now I don't want to put down the exclamation point, so let me just move that exclamation point before I do this. And now there, put 100 right there, and then I'll place my exclamation point like that, and it says 100, yay! So thank you to my Patreon supporters for supporting me, helping me continue to make YouTube videos even. And it really helps me to streamline my process so that I can keep on making lots of videos is what it does. I would probably still make videos. It's just I wouldn't be able to make as many because I wouldn't be able to subscribe to all my services and have all the gear that I have and all that. Now I'm going to show you a little trick here that I started doing last week, I think, which is when I trim down my photos so that the little white edge isn't showing anymore, I go back with my little correction tape and I just run it along. So I'm basically drawing on a white border so that that photo, I don't have to go back and remat it on white or anything like that. So I really like that, how that works. It's like a really great hack, and I've used it a couple of times since then as well. I'm going to use my hot off the press journaling template to draw some lines here so that my journaling doesn't go all wonky on me. And it says, stickering my days, our anniversary, Liv's wisdom teeth, Scott's fall, Sophie's grad, coffee. So I'm just listing out all of the things that are documented here on my little sticker hobby, which I do for relaxation after work or before work or whenever I have time to do it. It only takes a second, so I'm really enjoying that hobby. And there's a picture there of a guy who's flying over a cart. He's like, you can see him there. That's because that's what happened to Scott. He went flying head over heels over a cart in the grocery store parking lot. So I will be documenting that next. So now this photo is a little bit too big for the space, and there's also all that distracting stuff on the table behind his leg. So I just cut that off, and then let's take our correction tape, and using the lines on my grid mat, I was going to use this and then I thought, no, I'm going to use the lines on my grid mat and just run that like that. And then because it's tape, you can just fold it over, and now it looks like that photo was meant to be that way. Man, that is my favorite hack. I love that one. So that photo now fits really nicely in that space of that card, and that's another one of those paper person cards. I just added the date June 26th to the Patreon card because I forgot to put that. And now I'm taking this little asterisk from one of my little tiny stamp sets, and I'm putting it over the 25 on that little calendar. And then I'm also using my roller date stamp that says June 25th. And now I'm writing Sobeys parking lot. And here it says documented by, and I'm putting Tracy, but then in brackets I'm putting Scott's story. And I did check off afternoon because I believe this happened in the afternoon. And now on the underside of the flippity flap, I have to figure out what I'm going to do here. So again, I'm looking through those bad day cards from the paper person kit from April. I grabbed that one that says blah and that one that says sigh. And I had already cut out that card that says just one of those days. It happens. I believe that was from Cocoa Daisy because I've got some Cocoa Daisy cards in my stash as well. I'm going to use this flare badge over here. It says really bad, very bad news, horrible, no good. And now on this card that says blah, I'm going to do some journaling. I'm going to start with the roller date stamp that says June 25th again. And I'm writing here, as he was pushing and in quotations I put stubby cart, because that's what we call the little carts that are like half the depth, out to the car, a wheel got stuck in a crack in the pavement. Scott's momentum pushed him, and I ran out of room. I'm going to put an arrow there to show that this continues on the other side. And then I have to figure out what I'm going to put here, because I want to layer that speech bubble that says just one of those days, and that here's the story die cut from the bad day paper person kit from April. That's just a die cut from that kit. Now, as I disappeared out of frame for a minute there, what I was doing was looking all over my room for this Noted Volume 2 stamp set from Ellie's Studio. I knew I had it here somewhere, but because it's a weird size, I don't store it with my other scrapbooking stamps, and so I had to just find it. I decided to use this one, which has the 3 boxes in it, because it kind of mirrors the boxes that are in the blah card. It's actually really similar. So I'm going to just stamp it twice. So now I have more of those boxes that I can continue my story in. And over on this side, I'm going to write out right over the cart. So Scott's momentum pushed him right over the cart. I was going to layer this so that it kind of, I don't know what I was going to do there, but it didn't look right, so I'm not going to do that anymore. The groceries, the cart, and Scott all went flying. There was barbecue sauce all over everything, but he was okay. So now in this little journaling piece from Paper Person, just going to use my hot off the press journaling template and do some lines so that the journaling stays clear. And it says, cleaning down groceries afterwards reminded me of early COVID days. And I just realized that I forgot to erase those pencil lines, but it doesn't look bad. I'm looking at it right now. It doesn't look bad. I'm going to layer these two pieces, these two die cuts. Well, one is something that I cut apart from a card at the very, very beginning of this process. You might have seen me do it using a pop dot there. These are Stampin' Up! Dimensional adhesive to adhere that flare badge under the word sigh. And now I'm also using dimensional adhesive and regular adhesive to adhere these two die cuts to the card. And just to add a little bit more color and also just emphasize that this is this combination of navy blue and the watery green color. I'm just choosing two of those puffy star stickers to put there. Again, there's another space for the date, so June 25th goes on there again. And I'm just going to glue these down so that they don't move around inside of the pocket. And then there we go. So this is another flippity flap, which are photo flips from Simple Stories. And I'll use two more of those cute little star puffy stickers. And now that card is done. Now let's go over to this blog post one. Now I'm renovating my blog and it doesn't look the way that it's always going to look, but for now this is how it looks. I'm going to start using my blog for actual blogging. And so I just want to take care of it. And I'm just gradually changing different graphics and stuff and making it look pretty so that when I'm ready to start doing some journaling and blog posting over there, it'll look nice. So this is how it looks right now. It's almost done. I want it to be very plain and not too busy. So this is mostly what it's going to look like, but it's not done yet. I realized it's in progress. So I grabbed the Ali Edwards story kit that's called Progress I think it was from 2021. And I knew that there were some goodies in there. And these chipboard pieces, one says one step at a time, and the other says making good progress. So I thought I'd bookend this 4x6 photo with those two chipboard pieces. And I like how that looks. And it also allows the design of the page to just show. And now I'm finished with that page. And so you will see photos of that page and a little bit of a summary of it. But before I do that, I just felt in the mood to get started on this page. I think I was going to do all of this page, but I'm just going to do the title card. I'm trying to make the two title cards match or coordinate with one another just because they're both going to be on the same spread. So this will be the right-hand side of this spread. So I'm just going to mirror the title card here. Not mirror it, but just kind of repeat it. So I've got a tag. This one is a little bit smaller and it's red, but I'm doing the same thing with it. So I'm putting the date range on there. So it says June 27th to July 3rd. Today it's July 2nd, so this date hasn't even happened yet, but I'm just pre-making the title card since I already know what it's going to look like and I have the supplies here. I might as well use it. I use that same Ellie Studio stamp set, the mini days of the week, and I'm using the same thickers, which are Charm from American Crafts. And I'm just going to move the 2 and the 6 over a little bit this time. There's not quite as much room on this tag because it is smaller, so everything is a little bit more crammed in there, but I think it looks really nice. And now I'm just running over to my cupboards and I'm going to grab some more of that close to my heart ribbon that looks like seam binding. And I'm just going to put that through there and then loop it through and pull it tight. These strings are a bit too long, so I just cut them down a little bit and I distressed them a little bit because the other ones were fraying on the other one, so I wanted this one to fray as well. So there we go. Now I will just use my Zig tape runner to do that, to put this in place. And I think I'll put it up in the corner here It doesn't have to be exactly the same, and I'm interrupting the heart patterns just like I did on the other one. So those look pretty good together. They're not exactly the same, but they're nice. It provides nice repetition. So now all of these I'm just going to slip into pockets, and I will document that on Monday because some of those memories haven't happened yet. So I wanted to give a really big thanks to all of my Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for helping me keep on doing what I'm doing. So thanks to them. And thanks to you too for watching all this way. I do have some close-ups of how this spread looks. So that's how the overall one looks. Really, that bad day stamp on that photo is my favorite thing. And then I just wrote in handwriting wisdom teeth removal. And then I really love that sticker of the guy falling over the cart. So I really love that part of this one too. It's very playful and fun. And then there's how the title card turned out as well. I have a few more here that just show the flippity flaps. So there's plenty of journaling under this first one. Of course, has the tough stuff card on the outside, and then also plenty more journaling under this one as well. So that's it for this one. Take care and have a really great scrappy week. Be sure to leave me a comment if you have any questions or comments about this spread, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to my channel so you don't miss any content from me. I do project life and 12 by 12 scrapbooking, as well as a few other fun things in the course of the month. So take care and have a really great scrappy week.